So I'm busy working on the tutorial of how to take that pattern I drafted in that last pants pattern drafting video into an actual pair of pants. In fact, those pants are done right here, which also means the filming's done. So now I'm in the editing process, and honestly, that's going to be about 2 more weeks of work. And so I wanted to fill in the gap with something. I want to be a bit more consistent with my videos here on YouTube. So I'm just gonna kind of talk for a bit here. I've got some point form notes and gonna share about what I think about what goes on behind the scenes. Because I've sort of intentionally just focused on the sewing and the making and things, but I spend a lot of time thinking about what I'm doing here. So, maybe a little insight might be interesting. Speaking of that last video, the pattern drafting one, quite successful. It's a lot of effort, but the reception has been thumbs up, so I'm happy about that. In fact, it's given my channel a little bit of a bump, which has been nice to see. And also, first one of my videos to get 1,000 views in a week. So for me, that's pretty good, and it continues to grow. Thank you to all of you who watched it. Appreciate it. Appreciate the feedback. All around, thumbs up. So when I finish this video of the pants, I'm going to spend the remainder of the year doing a capsule collection. A month or two ago, I put up a poll if there was any interest in it. As you can see by the numbers, yeah, there seems to be an interest, so that will be my focus. And the concept of it is essentially elevated essentials. So over the last year or two, I've sort of just made an odd patch of clothes based on fabrics that I had. A lot of stores weren't open, things weren't easy to get. I don't like online shopping because it just doesn't give me the feels for the fabric or anything like that. So I want to make a series of sort of basics, essentials to fill in the gaps of my wardrobe. And I want to go beyond just the sewing of it. I'm going to document the costs of it. I want to actually talk about the fabrics themselves, get in close. I like textures, I like the weaves of things, the way it feels, what's it made out of, how does it wear. I'm going to get some tags made with my logo on it. I want to do a video exclusively about the story behind my logo and how I got to where it is today. So it's going to be a fully involved thing beyond just the making of the clothes. I think that's going to be fun. Some of them are going to be tips and tricks videos, tutorials, and then the projects that I don't know what I'm doing, like say there's going to be an overcoat, probably like a more fancy, thing. That'll be like a watch me make it kind of video. The journey, the trials, the tribulations, the messing up, I still got things to learn here. And then one of the things I haven't really talked about at all, ever, is this experience itself. At the end of 2020, I asked people what kind of projects they wanted to see, and it sort of fell into 2 buckets. One was tips and tricks and tutorials, and the other one is seeing me make more complex projects, watching me make things. And by asking that question in that video, it was really good insight into what I should be doing here. It was a feeling that I had. I sort of resisted the teaching part of it, but I've come to realize that that's the challenge, is how to be creative with it, as opposed to just making dry videos about now do this, now do that, like making learning fun. That's the challenge, and the phrase of someone told me, why should people watch your video? Like, what's the reason why they're watching it? It's like a bit of an exchange, if that makes any sense. As a viewer, you have a reason to watch it, and for me, there has to be one too. And I've come to realize I'm sharing my skills. It's 2. I'm making my wardrobe and sharing the skills that I've learned. It's the tagline I use everywhere. And as a result of that shift that I made at the end of last year to this year, I have actually seen a bit of growth on my videos as well. I was looking at my channel and I realized that most of the videos I've made this year have hit about 1K, which on YouTube is Pretty good, because at that point, I find from that point they kind of start to go up a little bit. You start to see more viewership after the 1K point. But you know what? This is actually my 4th year making these videos. But the reality is when I first started this, I had absolutely no clue what I was doing. I was starting everything from fresh. A lot of my earlier videos are just of me learning how to sew, messing up, making mistakes. I also had to just learn how to make videos. I hadn't done this before. So it was just a year of trials and tribulations, and a lot of those early videos also had skits in them because I wanted them to be entertaining. So I came up with silly little bits and pieces to put in. And I realized in hindsight, it's a bit jarring to be watching a sewing video to suddenly just cut to a random bit of entertainment. But as I said a moment ago, I now realize that the entertainment can be baked into just being who I am, and then focusing on the sewing. What else did I want to say about that? Yeah, I think that's kind of it. Oh yeah, I remember at the end of last year when I stopped doing the skits, I had a bit of a moment of panic, like, oh no, how am I going to make this interesting? But looking back on it now, sometimes you gotta stop something to realize what the next steps are. Also, I spend so much time thinking about YouTube as a platform and Instagram, just where these videos go. And what I've learned about YouTube is the key with YouTube is time. I find I can invest the effort to make a good quality video. That's why I don't post every week anymore. So I can really make something I'm proud of. Because with time, they get more views. And that's why I say when they hit that 1K point, they suddenly start going, they go up a little bit in viewership. And it also comes down to a good thumbnail and a good title. Like without those two, people don't click on it. And then from there, I can focus on the video. And so I've really been thinking about how to do that for myself in a way that makes sense for me without being clickbaity, but still intriguing, And Instagram, on the other hand, I found videos have 12 hours where I get like 80 to 90% of my views, likes, and things, and then it's dead within 24 hours. And so I find the key here is not to invest as much time into making them like I used to. And it's really just little morsels of facts and information, little pieces of my YouTube videos that I cut down. They're essentially like the advertisement for people to come over to YouTube and watch the full video. And also just make sure I'm not wasting my time putting all this effort in, like trying to cram what can sometimes be, well, the last one and this one, 30, 40-minute videos onto the platform of Instagram, And also doing them in a way where they look nice on the feed. Instagram's really focusing on video as well now. Reels are a big thing because of TikTok and stuff like that. So how can I have interesting videos as opposed to just photos that I put there? Yes, I've also started putting my things on TikTok. I gotta play the game. I can pretend to be like, oh, boo-hoo, the algorithms and stuff, but if I don't play the game, it won't work out. So I'm learning how to do it in my own way with how the platforms work. Does that make sense? Creativity is basically having limitations and then working within those bounds. So anyways, that's the sort of stuff that I think about. Coming up in a couple weeks. Thanks to all of you who watch my videos, who show up regularly, who comment, share, all those things. It's very much appreciated. If you have any thoughts or opinions, about anything I just said, leave a comment. This is a bit of a more informal one. Appreciate you watching. Thanks as always, and see you soon.